Welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. As we think about characteristics of great leaders, I really want to focus this week on self. A leader starts with you. You first have to understand who you are as a leader. Now, you may even say to yourself, I'm not a leader. I don't look at myself as a leader. Well, that's okay, because that starts with what we're talking about, which is self-awareness. And I get the opportunity to work with many leaders every day, every week, and really have had some time to sit back and observe on when I look at leadership, what do I see most? Where do I see most leaders running into challenges? And, I was thinking the other day, I have a leader who's very respected in his organization and been around for a long time. He's the CEO and chairman, and he just has a way about him that people respect him, but he needed some self-awareness around what was going on. You see, he likes information. He loves to drill deeper. He loves to dig down into the details. So when somebody provides him with information, he has more information that he needs and more information that he needs and more information and keeps asking and asking. And sometimes the team that he works with doesn't feel like he trusts them, that they can never get him exactly what he wants. Well, so as we've had some feedback through this conversation, we found that the information that he needs is for him. It's for him to feel confident to make those decisions. But instead, it's having a negative effect on his team, and they're not feeling like he trusts them. So that was a huge self-discovery. When we think about all the pieces that a person may need, a leader may need to understand themselves, which is really that self-awareness. So first, let's start with self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is really thinking about who we are, okay? It's about be. Who am I? Who am I as a leader? To know what's my beliefs, what's my values, what's my character, what is my knowledge, what can I lead with, what's kind of my style. Second is, what do I know? We all know something. We all are competent in different areas as leaders, may have different experiences, but that knowledge base, what do I know? And the next one is do. What do I do? What can I do? What are my capabilities? How can I expand my capabilities? What's the way I do things easily? So when you think about the who I am, that self-awareness is really, really critical to understand where you are and what's kind of your area of expansion. We as leaders need to continue to expand, but we need to stop and take some time to think about what is it that I need? What are those things that kind of get me upset? And that really leads to self-direction, is that we might know who we are, we know our values, we know our character, but the next piece is really thinking about, how do I deliver well? When do I procrastinate? How do I build relationships? Maybe I'm really not great at building relationships, but if I'm not, who do I have around me to do that? It might be, how do I get my work done? It might be, I know when I get overwhelmed. What are some of the signs for me to know when I'm getting overwhelmed? How about when you're in that meeting? I have some leaders that I've had to coach that they have to physically start feeling their body because they may have this instantaneous venom that comes out because they're losing their cool, and that's not a great thing. So we have to stop and say, okay, what are those moments that cause us to do that? What's going on? Is it a certain person? Is it a certain topic? Is it a certain level of frustration? Those leaders who are self-directed in their growth and their experiences know when those things are. And that's why leadership is really evolving. It's an evolution of you as an individual, because as we go through different times in our lives as leaders, even when we're young, we might be a young leader just starting out in an organization, and those different experiences we have are going to be very different than when we're more experienced. And that self-direction continues. As I'm working with some older leaders in their career, they're going to go through transition. They're going through transition. They're thinking about retirement and having to give things up and give things away. That's a whole new level of challenges that they're dealing with, that all of a sudden these emotions pop up that they had never felt before. So we as leaders know those are going to be there. But if we have those two pieces, if we have self-awareness and self-direction, and bring those two together to say, this is who I am, this is how I work, this is how I operate, and then this is the situations that I deal with, and how can I move them together? That's great leadership. Great leadership is starting with you. We can't go to the blame game, but if we know who we are, if we stop every so often and think about the situations that make us great and those that challenge us, that can help us be even better than we are today. So for positive charge this week, I want you to first think about that. What is your level of self-awareness about yourself? Who are you? When you think about B, think of those beliefs, characters, your character, your values, your talent. What do you know? What are those things that you know, and what are you best at doing? And then think about, and the next area is self-direction, is what are those times? Is there something when if you are kind of ashamed of some of your behavior as a leader? What might that be? And what causes that? Is it that venom that snaps out? Is it that impatience that takes you over the edge? That you wish after you would have said those words, you could just rewind very quickly, and even if it was just 5 seconds, you just go, oh, why did I do that? So we want to really, we're not perfect, we're human beings, but if we can take those experiences and learn from them and do them less, that's the goal. So as you think about yourself as a leader this week, or even if you think about yourself as a follower, that you may not want to be that leader, but you look to leaders, I really want you to think about yourself as an individual and your self-awareness. And the best leaders, when people ask me what makes the best leaders know themselves best and surround themselves with the rest. Know yourself best and surround yourself with the rest. We're not all perfect, but we do have great partners. And if we know what we can do best, we can be a great leader because we're open, honest, transparent, and we can be who we can be every day. Thank you for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.